All right. Hey, we're here back again. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we having a special show tonight. As a matter of fact, it's an emergency show, and it's going to be. We're going to be discussing the voters' intimidations that is going on right here in Southeast Texas, right here in Beaumont, Texas, and right now we've got the court filing it's taking place right now at 6:30 at the federal courthouse right here in Beaumont, Texas. If you have a chance, you've got about 25 minutes to get downtown, sign the petition, and let them know that you are uh, wanting to petition on the voters' intimidation. The FBI is monitoring the situations. So I'm having caught up with everything that's going on. I'm going to allow Chris and Trisha, my co-host tonight, to kind of give you guys an update what is going on at the voting polls right here in Southeast Texas. And we want you to be aware of what's going on. Take notes, take pictures, what's going on, so that everybody can see and know, and we can report it to the FBI of voters intimidation. So the NAACP attorneys are here in town right now at the Jack Brook courthouse. They are filing a lawsuit for voters intimidations right here in Beaumont, Texas. At the what library was this? Where John Paul Davis uh, library. Okay, guys, you take it away. Hey, let me get a shout out to Cheryl Jackson. She's watching already. At Tori Bruce. Okay. Great. John LeBlanc. Okay. All right, guys, you take over.
Good evening. As Tony did mention, it is been brought to several community leaders and groups and organizations of some of the voter irregularities and discrepancies that have been happening, not just at the Theodore Johns poll, but I'm sorry, at the John Paul Davis Community Center polling location, but some irregularities when it comes to mail-in ballots and other voter intimidation, either approaching polls or while you're in the poll trying to cast your ballot. Um, as well as some people are not being explained the thorough or being explained thoroughly the process to cast their ballot, which is also a sign and symbol of voter intimidation. With those things being brought to not only our local NAACP and groups and organizations, as I mentioned, it's also being brought to the state NAACP as well as other counties that are also looking to seek lawsuits based on voter coercion, again, voter intimidation, and other, voter coercions or areas of voter intimidation to discourage and discredit people from voting. So, as Tony mentioned, at 6:30 tonight, here in Jefferson County, at the Jack Brooks Federal Courthouse, they will show. They will be rendering a lawsuit to be filed in that court. I'm not sure of in court too, actually. So they're asking for the community support. A lot of groups, again, and organizations and individuals who have experienced in the latest election some coercion and intimidation. They're asking that if you would speak out, reach out to your local NAACP, reach out to your local FBI, and express to them your discrepancies. That, as far as that goes, we're just waiting for an update to see what the filing may be.
And that is going on right now. Matter of fact, it won't start until 6:30.
Yes, sir.
So we are encouraging you, if you're not doing anything, if you got time to get downtown to the Jack Brook Federal courtroom. It's going to be in room as a room that it's going to be in.
Courtroom
Um,
two.
courtroom two. Right. That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
Right. And we're encouraging you to um, be if you got a chance to stop by there and sign in. Sign in. You come in through the south doors. Um, we're waiting on a couple of individual who's attending as part of this filing uh, to report back to us uh, on the filings. The filing was supposed to have been early this morning, but it was. This is why we have programmed this show for this evening to have all the participating attorneys and spokespeople, person that has attended this filing, can give us a better explanation of the filing, why we filed it, and we need to stop and have safe voting polls. And we're not going to have it here in Beaumont, Texas. So the FBI is monitoring the polls here in Southeast Texas, especially those here in Beaumont and Port Arthur. So if you see anything that don't look right, please, Chris, who to notify?
You can call. I wouldn't say, and just for um the ease of someone's mind. They're not monitoring the polls, but they are monitoring irregularities. And that's the FBI. And they want again to hear directly from those individuals who have, suffered this infringement upon, their civil liberty. So you would reach out to your local Beaumont FBI. Um, you can I guess you can reach out for Nicole. She's Senegal. She's a point of contact. So that's one person I know for sure you can reach out. But again, just call your your FBI to let them know of any voter irregularity, disenfranchisement that you have experienced. Make sure that if you do not have your receipt, that you have your um, identification to let them know that you are a registered voter and you voted on this particular day and time. And this is the persons that you reported that irregularity to initially. Uh, but tomorrow is election day, and before this call, I was again made aware that these discrepancies or vote avenues of voter intimidation has been expressed again throughout the state of Texas, and it's being monitored here in Jefferson County because of some localized cases that where people haven't had the fair share of a true and fair election, and that's as Ms. D said, that's sad. It's a shame, especially in this day and age. But again, like I said, tomorrow's election day. Do not let anybody, and I do mean anybody, deter you from casting your ballot, especially if you haven't already. So I do want everybody to know that uh, if you have any, I guess, like physical threat to you or your person, please initially reach out to your Beaumont Police Department and your Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. And again, still report that to the FBI as well. But initially, make the initial phone call to your local police department and county sheriffs as well.
And also, please vote. We don't want you to stop voting. We want you to vote. Please vote. When you got to just get up and just go vote. We need a turnout that we hadn't had and seen before in our daytime. Because if we don't, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose 50 years if we don't vote. And we've got to vote. I would encourage you to vote and encourage your friends, family, and loved ones that is that's eligible to vote, that is registered to vote. Please vote because we've got the numbers. but we must vote.
And I'm glad you mentioned about the numbers, Tony. I mean, we've been, to be honest with you, we've been had the numbers. The numbers just don't always feel confident in many of the candidates that we have to choose from.
Right.
But these are the reasons that we stress out to you that your vote does count, your vote does matter. And if anybody, black, brown, or indifferent, tells you that it doesn't, that they are a, a bold-faced lie. Because they wouldn't go through so many constraints or restraints to keep you from voting in the first place. When it comes to the IDs, when it comes to whatever it is that they're requesting from you at the poll, and even when we saw on our news, national news, where they were taking some individuals to jail for expressing again their civil liberty, which they believed they had the right to do. We saw them go to jail. Again, this is another source of intimidation. That is another way to keep not just members of that area, but members of this diaspora period from voting and expressing how powerful they really are at the poll.
Trish, you want to add anything there while we still here, still here?
Yes, I
But
just would ask everybody to go out and vote. It is your right, and it doesn't matter who you're voting for as long as you get out there and your voice is heard. That's the only thing that matters. Um,
I'm trying to get you on the screen with us. I
the
don't know, where are
behavior
you?
that is being exhibited is disgusting, and
Yes.
if you can't win them with your vote or with your campaign, then reevaluate yourselves and leave the voters alone. Um, don't let it
Okay.
discourage you.
Yeah, and to the candidates, if you raise supporters that bash, coerce, and intimidate voters, whether they're voting for you or not, nobody really knows what their personal vote is, especially by the color that they wear. To intimidate somebody at the poll, um, one is a slap in the face. Two, it will definitely turn anybody sour toward a candidate, especially if that person or persons represent somebody that allows those type of practices.
Yep, they spend all that time campaigning, but actions speak louder than words.
Wow. Hey, I'm trying to get us back on the screen together. Where I'm going. Hey guys. Hey, thank guys for watching and listening. Spread the word. Let me tell you what's really going on. Again, this is just preliminary. What's happening now? Where the group is the attorneys are filing a lawsuit at the Jack Brooks federal courthouse, based on widespread reports of voter intimidation at the John Paul Davis Community Center. If you have any information, or are you aware? If you are aware of this and run into this situation, please contact the NAACP attorney at 713-546-7976. So let me get us all of us back on the screen here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get us back on here. Where am I? So we can finish this. But please vote, guys. Please vote. We need to. No, that's not the screen I'm looking for. So let me do this. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody help me. Well, anyway,
Escape, escape.
I can't get my screen back. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Now I do this every day. So what happened?
That age catching up with you, man.
Oh, thank you, Facebook user, who that is. That said, thank you. But I got to get my screen back so I can everybody on the screen again. I don't know what I'm doing here. So wait a second. I'm new to this. Now this is a new platform we're on, and this is a new platform we're on. Let me take everybody off. Okay, let's do that. All right. So guys, I asked you guys to. There we go. All right, there we go. Whew.
Welcome back. Welcome
Welcome back,
back.
everybody.
Welcome back.
Again, this is a new platform. We're only with this platform maybe a week or two. So I'm still messing with it, trying to make sure that I get it, operating. I'm up in age. Technology is not my cup of tea. But we want you all to vote. We're going to keep you aware of what's going on. We're waiting on Reverend Reynolds and the group who are filing, along with the attorneys uh, who from Houston, the three attorneys from Houston who are really filing this lawsuit. They have all the evidence that this has happened, and
Correct.
they have the
Correct.
evidence. So
Right. Right. And
we're
and again, I do want to point out it's you know this has also caught the attention of our state NAACP, which is from what I'm gathering leading the charge. The Beaumont NAACP is cooperating with them and giving them the evidence that they need, along with the attorneys. Uh, but again, this is not a localized issue. Especially during early elections, people have expressed, and I mentioned statewide, have expressed how they receive voter intimidation at the poll, or voter coercion on the way to the poll or at the poll, or at the booth itself, from alleged poll workers. And I do say alleged because just because you have a certificate of some sort saying that you could be a poll worker doesn't necessarily mean that you do not have some ulterior motive uh, in that particular capacity. So I do want people to know, even when someone comes out to allegedly give you a sample ballot, and it's supposed to be, you know, unmarked, do not allow anybody to coerce your vote for somebody that you have no idea or clue about. If you want to know about the candidates, one of the best ways to find out information about that candidate is to reach out to that candidate themselves. If you can't reach out to them, most of the times there's campaign um, chairpersons or workers that will, inform you on what it is that the candidate stands for. So there's an ample of ways to, make a wise and informed decision on who your elected official or rules, regulations, ordinances, laws should reflect. So um, I, I'm definitely going to be at the polls. The polls open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And even if your poll is hidden in your district, of course, I know that we do have countywide voting. We can vote anywhere in Jefferson County. I definitely thank those commissioners that brought that about. But it is detrimental that you show your attention and attendance at your local precinct poll, because eventually those powers that maybe will take your that polling location and close it off because of lack of attendance. So I do want you to just be mindful of a lot of things. Early voting polling locations are different. Some of them are different than election day polling locations. So you could go to Jefferson County um, elections page, find out what the election day polling locations are, because again, they are not all the same as the early election polling locations. And again, just make certain of your surroundings, regardless to what time you go to the poll, regardless to how many people are there. Make sure that you feel safe. One, and first and foremost, that you feel safe, and that you uh, can identify, or can somebody can identify you can identify somebody that looks and perceives to be safe, or official of an official capacity. um, Somebody is requesting police officers to be at uh, certain polling locations due to the alerted threat. to voters. So just be aware of again of your surroundings as you go in and come out of your polling locations.
Thank
I
you,
think it's
everyone.
important too.
Go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it's important too to acknowledge the fact that the intimidation isn't just at the polls. That there's been intimidation for a while now, and your voice matters. If nothing else, you have to let your voice be heard this way. This is our right. Um, I don't care who you're voting for. If you're out there and you see somebody who's intimidating somebody else, do the right thing, whether they're in your party or not. Do the right thing,
Okay,
because even with disagreements, we're all entitled to our vote.
absolutely. We're gonna end, and we're gonna come back once we hear back from those that attended the federal filings at the federal courthouse, and give you guys an update with those who attended the filing today. So I don't mind coming back. I know we can't stay on this long and just keep chappy, but I want you to want to do one thing: vote. That's all I want you to do.
Absolutely,
Go
absolutely.
vote. Let your
And bring
voice be
somebody
heard.
with you if you are not able to go to the poll yourself. Ask I mean, like, physically go into the location. Ask them to bring you a ballot out. There's several different ways that you can actually cast your vote. So I do express that people exercise those opportunities that's available to them.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be right back as soon as we hear. You're gonna know. Thank you again for listening to us and watching us. We do all we can to keep our community informed. Thank you again from Knowledge is Power podcast. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Chris.
Thank
All right.